Hey, what's up, everyone? I hope you all are ready for a new week of trading. I'm looking forward to it. The SPY up another day, so it's 3 days in a row. Pretty nice run. I don't have it in front of me. I can't remember how much the Dow was up, but anyway, strong day on Friday. Some highlights: TN that didn't work. TNDM, which I handled very poorly. I called in the room when it looked like this, I believe, over basically an opening range breakout over 53.11, which it might have broke right there. Um, and on TNDM, the risk was probably almost 70 or 80 cents, right? Because it would have gone down below the previous 5 minute candle. So it held the stop, but here's what happened. And at this point, it was up like probably almost a buck, and I didn't take any off because I took a small position, so I could just not worry about it, right? Um, and then it bled lower, and then somewhere probably right in here. Now it's like an hour after I bought it, maybe I want to hit. I just got bored with it. Hit out flat, didn't come close to stopping out. That's probably where I hit out right there. Watch this. Next thing you know, it just bleeds higher the rest of the day. So it didn't handle that well, but my idea worked great. If anyone did it, coin. Bear with me a second. Go to 5 minute candles. Um, Coin, I basically called the early high right here was 79.02. I said back through 79, and it triggered there, chopped around for a while, then went up to a little over 80, I think, 80.44. So anyone that took that, you ended up getting hopefully a dollar or more. You certainly shouldn't hold when it comes back to the entry. And then somebody else, I think, gave it back through 80 later in the afternoon too. My apologies for not remembering who that was. So a couple opportunities there. Rivian Tamer called this. Thought this was kind of a cool setup, right? It looked like this. So the previous day's high, which would have been Thursday's high, 36.90, gapped down a little bit, sold off, and then tops out at 36.54 and flags below that. Tamer's idea back through 36.50 with the high of day, new high of day ticker getting lit up, no, getting lighted up, lighting up. How about that? I don't know. If you get through 36.50, probably here. There's a better way to word it. Probably going to light up the new high of day ticker, and Thursday's high was not far above as another potential catalyst. And so that actually happened really nicely, 36.50 to 37. So if you took that, should have been scaling out, taking some off as it broke Thursday's high, and then back down, probably hit out flat. And then again, my apologies, can't remember who called it. Somebody gave the through 37 idea later, and that worked too, right? So a great teamwork, great teamwork. Let's see, Rivian. And then Kevin P with Pixie, which I totally agreed with. And if y'all heard me in chat, this was my main focus for the afternoon, and he was calling it back through 34. I'd already mentioned this lower intraday high was 34.25, and then the earlier high was 35. And I also mentioned that the pre-market high was 36, so it was a pretty clean trader with whole numbers, quarter numbers, that sort of thing. You definitely had stacked catalysts back through 34. It was a great idea by Kevin P. It happened so quickly. I got a partial fill, and that was with giving it what you'd call a lot of wiggle room, because I was really happy to get it anywhere between 34 and the earlier high of day 35, knowing how the stock acts and knowing we had the pre-market high above and knowing shorts were getting caught late in the afternoon. And I get a freaking partial fill. So I think I was at the 34.45 is where I got filled. And then my best sell was over 38, so it was a neat little trade, but I didn't have the shares I wanted. So anyway, there's some highlights from Friday. Real quick now, let's go into what we're watching on Monday. And keep in mind, when a new week starts and when certain stocks start to kind of fade away as being fun traders, new ones always emerge, right? So we'll have some new stocks that'll become the in-play group, going forward. So always remember that. Gives you something to look forward to. All right, DOCU gapped up on Friday, closing off its highs. We're going to watch that for a follow-through setup. KR is Kroger. Really nice pop, I believe, on earnings and a strong close. I want to watch that one. RETA had a nice move. This would have been Wednesday. Gapped up on Thursday, sold off, and then Friday kind of stayed inside. Basically closed pretty close to where it was the day of the big move. But you've got two red days now on declining volume. To me, this is a decent long setup, of course, with a proper intraday setup, right? FRGE is interesting to me. You had a pop back here, went to 940. Then you had a nice volume spike here, went to 528, and it's kind of curling, flagging, and starting to curl back up. So that one is a decent looking chart for a potential long. Zscaler, nice volume and a pretty strong close. We're going to watch that for a follow through day. SHPH, I did not type that right. SHPH, crazy IPO, and then did this, and then did this. But then, I mean, look at the candle, the green candle I'm hovering over here, went from 12 to 31.19 to give you an idea how crazy this thing is. Then the next day, it hit 45.94. Looked like it was going to roll back over, and now we say, wow, it's not. All I can say is be careful with your position size and watch this thing trade before you even decide to get involved, if you get involved. I'm going to have a really nice A+ setup before I will, but it can move. GOVX, I believe they had like some kind of conference on Friday. It looked like it went well because it's a strong mover. We're going to watch that one. Pixie, I already talked about that. Kevin P, great call. I want to watch that one. I'd like to see that come in for a couple days, and then it would probably be my favorite pick again. So anyway, goes on a chart. PGY, former massive mover. It's gone down into what I call nothingness, but it did have a little volume spike on Friday. If I switch to 5-minute candles, you kind of see the volume pouring in. A lot of the volume was on the way back down, something to be aware of. I'm not in love with it, but I'm going to put it on a chart just because of that volume spike, see if something's up. I went in through GameStop on watch because it's starting to curl back up nicely. That's GME. And then lastly, CFVI had a really nice run, then a flag, a secondary run, and now 3 days down in a row. Kind of touched the 20-day on Friday. Definitely want to watch that for a bounce. I'm done babbling. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you guys in the chat room in the morning.